everybody's hanging out in here with me today because it just started raining. It is day 4 with Annie. She is going to get a quick lunge session, some showmanship, and we're going to keep working on what we've been working on. We're going to start doing our downward transitions on the lunge, and we're going to work on respect and confidence in showmanship, as well as crossover pivot. But first, I'm going to groom her up. So we're starting out with showmanship. I'm just asking her the trotting, and she's getting better about trotting up with me right when I ask and staying next to me without getting spooky or reactive. I'm asking her to set up every time I do anything, and I'm asking her for a couple pivot steps without putting my hand on her shoulder. If she doesn't respond to that, then I'm just going to go ahead and move back to where we were yesterday, which is hand on the shoulder with 1 or 2 steps. So I bounce back and forth between trying a couple different things. She's a little touchy about the grass today because she's been in all day and the grass is nice and green from the rain. And so typical pony has trouble dealing with the temptation of wanting to eat the whole time. So I give her enough slack that she can try it, but then when she does, and that's disrespectful to me because she's not paying attention, she's thinking about eating, then I'll give her a sharp tug on the rope and continue asking her for whatever I was asking her for. So I ask her for a step without moving her foot, and I'm pushing for an additional step today. So I want her to plant her back hind foot opposite of me and cross over with the other foot, her front foot. So she's getting the concept of that, so I just ask her for 1 or 2 steps until she moves her front feet without moving that back foot. And then I'll push for the 3rd step today so that she feels that discomfort of kind of a twist on her back leg, so she has to adjust her weight to move her back foot without picking it up. So I'm asking her to stand set up today for a halter position. I'm asking her to pick up her foot. And then I'm asking her to move her head up too to stretch out her neck. Then I move back to a little bit more pivoting before we start lunging. So with the lunging, I set her loose off her halter for a minute just to see what she did, and she immediately started eating grass. So I asked her to reestablish that connection and try to come to me. She immediately just moved off and decided to run and go eat grass in the other corner, so I set her feet a-moving and made her start going. I decided to establish that direction, ask her for a chains. She did it pretty well, so I was pretty okay with that. Even though she turned to the fence the first time, she's still learning it, so doing better than yesterday. So we send her around and around and around, pushing her when she moves and leaving her alone and letting her travel while she doesn't move, while she does the right thing. Asked her to canter, she did pretty well. Asking for a reverse to the inside, and she's getting better at that as well. So I give her the pressure for the reverse, and then as soon as she does it, she gets to pick her speed for a few steps before I move on to doing what we were doing before. And I like her extended trot, pushed her up a little bit, try to develop that cart trot. So now I'm just going to start asking to bring her in, and she's getting the hang of that. So she came in, licking and chewing. She didn't come all the way in. I went up to her, and I was going back and forth whether I was going to halter or not. I just wanted her to kind of stay with me. I'm not going to force her to, but I do want her to be encouraged to come in to me and not be uncomfortable with my presence. So I ask her to walk with me, which she's getting better at, but she has to have that established some sort of physical control. So I put my hand on her neck just to get her started, and then she'll move off me. However, she decided to eat some grass. I yelled at her, and she went taking off the other direction again. So we're going to keep that direction. She tries to change it, turns the inside, got a little disrespectful there, so I kind of scolded her and asked her to keep going around. We carried on like that for a couple of minutes. And then I asked her to come in again. You can see her look at me and then skim on past, do a little bit of a flyby there, but she asks, I'll push her around again, and then I ask her once more. And she turns and she comes in, but she doesn't come all the way in. So she's getting pretty good at stopping, but she hasn't gotten confident enough to come into the middle yet. So I'm just asking her to hang out with me, realize that I'm not scary, I'm not chasing her all the time, and then I'm going to ask her to do kind of a little bit of liberty. So I'm not dragging her, I just have my hand on her to keep her from leaving. She could if she wanted to, but it just encourages her to stick around. And I'm using body language to get her moving and changing directions and stuff before I give her a reward.